All right, guys, this is Paul Singh, the market speculator over at bullsandwallstreet.com and my blog, themarketspeculator.blogspot.com. And we are doing the Twitter request today a little later than I promised. I promised it around Sunday midday. Got a little busy today, so it's coming at you a little later. But let's hit the stocks here. Now, you guys asked for about 36 different stocks, and let's talk about what I'm looking at. First of all, now I'm looking at it from a swing trade perspective using my methodologies. So, if you're trading it on a day trading time frame or a longer time frame, we'll have a different analysis. So keep that in mind. I'm looking at it from my perspective. Some great requests here, 36 of them. A number of them are on my own watch list, focus list to start the week. I think about 10 of them here actually did my trade report for Trade Report members, and a number of these were actually in my trade report, which is great. You guys are thinking the same way as I do. So let's hit it, and I'll let you know if one is actually on my own focus list. XON actually is. Again, here we have a nice volume pattern, a biotech stock had broke out. This is when we really started watching it. Pulled back to the 50-day, got another breakout. Now it's pulled back, oversold condition. Holding that 50-day, and what I love about this one is, it could break, and this is kind of a weird pattern, but we have that really easy stop placement here, a good reward to risk with a target up here around 50. And this move could come quick where you get an 8 or 9 point move. We'd probably enter on a little bit of a pullback here. So we'll say a 9 point move, and maybe we risk $2 or $3 here with our stop. So we're getting 3 to 1 on the risk, which means we could be right 25-30% of the time and actually make money on this trade. So I really like this setup. It is in our focus list here. Now Netflix, speaking of Netflix, I just did a binge this weekend of 6 of the 13 Daredevil episodes. It was fantastic. But anyway, back to the stock. It's kind of been all over the place since the earnings breakout here, which was a really strong breakout. We got a strong move, and you would expect a pullback here, and it's real healthy that it held the breakout level. Often you can pull back all the way down to the pre-breakout level and still have a valid setup. So really strong here. Held that 200-day, rebounded the 50-day. Getting over bought here. So, maybe I'd wait for some consolidation or a pullback. I don't really have an entry level yet. I would like to see how it plays out. So I probably wouldn't enter here, but definitely one to keep on the watch list. Cyber is interesting that in that overall, I like the pattern. And I would like to enter here around the 50-day moving average. We get a pullback, a good volume pattern overall. But I am actually short this based on this negative candle here at close to overbought levels. Not playing a big move down, just basically trying to game this pullback and then reverse and go long once we get that pullback, assuming that's what happens. Obviously, it could push up from here. It is a strong stock. So when you're going counter trend like this against an overall strong stock, you want to be very careful here. I will be quick to pull out of this short, if it hits my stop up here. EDC, emerging markets. In the trade report, we have been talking about emerging markets for a while now. We played Brazil, one of the emerging markets, earlier and made a nice profit there. Now very overbought, in line with China, Russia. In the report, we're actually short Russia based on overbought kind of setup where we're expecting a pullback. But with EDC, I would wait to see where it consolidates before even considering an entry at these high levels. Apple, one of my current positions, we entered on the pullback here to 125, got the move up here to 127, holding in line here. It's been slow going here, but it is holding that 50-day moving average. Part of it, I think, is the uneasiness over the iWatch, and then I think there was a downgrade, but it's a positive that it actually held up strong against the downgrade. So we still have a target up here, 130, 135. You could enter here and have a good setup here using that 50-day moving average. PanW, another cybersecurity stock here. I like the stock, like the volume pattern. The key is here, where do we enter? I want to enter either, on breakouts of resistance or pullbacks to support. And right now we're kind of in no man's land. So I would not enter here, but I will be watching and this is one of my focus list stocks, I will be watching for a breakout of the 150 level. And that could set up longer term a move maybe to 200, but shorter term, maybe a 5 to 10 point move. If not that, maybe we get a pullback during the week and we can enter here on a play of the 50-day moving average. Excuse me, but we cannot enter at this level here. Google has been interesting. I was kind of bullish earlier because we had this nice volume pattern, broke down. That doesn't mean it's broken. We'll watch for a remount, but it's actually almost putting this kind of dead cat bounce setup in where we could get a move down here to maybe 500, which it was back in early 2000 or 2015, but we'll also watch for a remount here. So it is one of the stocks I watch, but I'm not looking to play it right now. I want to get some kind of clue as to what to happens. Maybe if we get a breakout here, breakdown here, we can short it. Otherwise, watch for this remount. If it does remount on strong volume, we could see a move to 600. IBB kind of over bought here on this bounce play. We had played a short and a bounce here. Now, kind of wait and see. I actually did take a short here to see if it'd pull back. Has bounced up here. The entry levels really for the sector. Now, within the sector, there's a number of stocks you can play right now. But the sector itself, if you're looking to play it, probably got to wait for a pullback here or a test of these old highs. GoPro, this made the focus list this week after not being in it for quite some time. Just the idea that maybe it's starting to bottom here. If we look back just to the beginning of March, a decent volume pattern, rising up, rebounded the 50-day moving average, not looking to enter yet. I'd like to see how it reacts to the 50-day here. And if it looks like it's reacting nicely, then we could enter and maybe play a move up here to 50 or 55. KMI, a breakout here. Actually, sorry, this is a different Kinder Morgan. My takeaway from this, I'm not going to overanalyze this, is just that if you're looking at the energy space, there are a ton of stocks that are volatile, that move, that are showing really good patterns right now. And so why play KMI? It's not a volatile stock. What are we looking at a range here of maybe 39 to 42. How much money are you going to really make off that, unless maybe you're trading options or something? But not something I would look to trade. CSIQ, a solar stock. Solars look good along with energies, but tough to enter in this range here. We'd need either a pullback or a breakout to highs here. Juno, a biotech IPO we've been watching also, have not entered it yet, but this is one, again, I would look for a breakout on strong volume, and it does have a good volume pattern, or a pullback here, and it's been a good buy on these pullbacks, timed with oversold stochastic. So be patient with it, and I think it will set up. Priceline here, we got this breakout. I'm assuming this was an earnings breakout. Pullback, and I talked about this before, even if it dips below the breakout level, still valid, looking good volume pattern. Held up the 200-day, now has remounted the 50-day. I like it on a little bit of a pullback here. Kite, another biotech. Just not any. There's no real discernible pattern that I'd want to play here. So I would go to a biotech that's showing me a little more. Kraft, we had the strong breakout here. I think it had something to do with something within the company. I know it wasn't an earnings breakout, but like it, looks good here. But we really have to just watch the range develop and look for a good entry point. I just don't see a good entry, although I like it overall. So it goes in the watch list, but not looking to trade it yet. SDRL, oil gas. This is an example of one that's showing a little more and has room to move. So good volume pattern. Looks like it's bottomed here, either a pullback or maybe a remount of this 50-day, and it could set up a really big move here. Natural gas, UNG, a bit oversold, but again, not really seeing much of a pattern or any clues to actually enter right now. So I wouldn't even really consider it unless it gives me something here. HA looking good. This was a Momomo stock a while ago, broke down, but now has got at least gotten past that breakdown bar and looks to be consolidating here. At the least, you've got a decent reward to risk, and we could see a gap fill here at 25. Baba, this made my focus list, and it hasn't been on my watch list even for a while on this downtrend. And but now it looks like it might be bottoming here. Decent volume pattern, not it doesn't blow your mind here, but we do see maybe some of the big guys are starting to build some positions here at these over beaten down levels, and looks like it could be bottoming here. We broke this downtrending 50-day moving average, although we closed a little below it, so maybe it'll take a couple of tries, but we'll keep an eye on this as a bottoming place. CUDA, nice breakout. Now we basically be waiting for a pullback entry here. CGYP, love the volume pattern here. Nice move here. Let's see where it consolidates to. I like that the volume on the consolidation is low, but we need to see a defined entry level here, which we don't really have that would give us reward or risk yet, but you can take a wait and see approach there. INUV Marketing Services, a nice breakout, waking up here, a huge volume coming in. Now this is an ugly candle here, probably going to get a pullback here. This might be even a good short opportunity actually, but if it pulls back in here and then forms a pivot, that might be a good entry. EXXI, at least it has remounted the 50 days, so maybe you can play off that, but I'm not seeing a big pattern there. JIVE, a breakdown here, again a remount of the 50 days, so maybe you can play that, but other than that, not seeing a whole lot. GBSN, fantastic breakout, again one of these patterns that you could have shorted, and now it's getting to maybe a buy opportunity here. Maybe watch this this uptrending 50-day moving average kind of converge with price and go for an entry there. VLTC, fantastic breakout. This might be a short opportunity here with this kind of doji candle at the extreme levels here, and then you could look for an entry on a hard pullback. So kind of two ways to play that: watch the short and then watch the long. PSTR, a nice volume coming in here, breakout. Tough to find a good entry. Maybe just wait for a pullback in here. SYRX, nice breakout pullback. I would like to know the reason for the breakout, but I don't play dollar stocks. Even some of these are $3 or $4. I usually don't play. That's not my strategy, but this is a classic breakout pullback pattern. W, specialty retail, which is a sector we are watching. Nice breakout. I'm assuming this was earnings related. Nice move up here, basically a trend pullback here, and look for a nice pullback entry. A little too overbought to enter right now. Twitter on my focus list. We've already made money from this. We entered around 46, exited around 51. Now has pulled back here. We'll look for an entry in the 50s here, and then maybe we get that run up to 55, which I've been talking about for a while now. But we'll look for a pullback entry there. LinkedIn, another one of our focus list stocks, broke down below the 50-day, now has remounted, and this was earnings breakout, so it has a good catalyst there, which is earnings, and maybe we get a retest of 270 and a breakout now. So I would look to enter there on a pullback. CLDX, stock I've never traded here, but a biotech stock. Like the overall pattern, and this was a hard move down, but volume was decent on it. Still got a decent volume pattern. So maybe on a move here to 26, you get a good entry, and you can play a retest of that 32 level. DANG, nice breakout there, kind of consolidating overall. There's some room to move here. So, I would look for maybe a pullback entry there. QRVO, and this is one of the great things about this here is I'm seeing a bunch of stocks that I haven't paid attention to, so that's always nice to get some new perspective. And I like this volume pattern here. Strong volume on the way up, a hard pullback, but it was on decent volume here. So maybe a nice entry here around 73. Get your stop in around 70. That gives you 3 points, and then you could play a move up to 85, which would be say a 10 to 12 point move. So you're looking at 3 to 1, 4 to 1 on your risk reward. Which remember now, if you've got that kind of risk reward, you can be right, say 30% of the time. If you're right 40% of the time, you're going to make a lot of money. But you can even be right here, 35% of the time, and you're doing well for yourself. FXI China, we talked about emerging markets. A huge move here. We have to let this play out to see where you enter. It's really tough to enter here. And I've been actually looking for a short opportunity. Didn't get the pattern here that I wanted, but I did get it on Friday in Russ, which is, Russ is what the vehicle I use, but RSX, which would be Russia here, and we got that negative pattern for a pullback. But FXI even more overbought here, and we just, you could take a stab at it here, and I'm not sure what the inverse ETF is off the top of my head, but you could take a stab at it. The thing is, this is prone to some big bounces here, so be careful. But I will wait for some kind of confirmation candle pattern before doing that. And finally, the 36 stock. Let's make it a good one. GERN. Nice breakout. Love the volume pattern here. Pulled back. The entry was probably right in here. Around 350. And again, this is smaller than I usually trade, but I do love the pattern here. Tough to enter. This is what I call no man's land, where you're in the middle of a range between 450 and 350. It's defined this range here. You never want to be trading in the middle of the range. That's where you get bad reward or risk, and the stock can kind of do anything it wants and still be a valid setup. So that's not a position you want to be in. So a good takeaway for the end of this chart review here is never get yourself in the middle of a move. You either be at the top of it or at the bottom of it. So some great, fantastic stocks here to go through. I love doing this. Really good to see what you guys are looking at. I'll probably do this again next week. It's been a lot of fun. Now, if you'd like to become a member of the Trade Report, go ahead and go to bullsonwallstreet.com. And all of a sudden, I'm having a little bit of an internet issue here, but bullsonwallstreet.com, and go to Swing Trader, part-time trader free trial. There's a picture of Kunal there. Yeah, I'm having some internet issues here, but go there, put in your information, and you will get a 14-day free trial to the Trade Report. And I'm going to pull up Monday's Trade Report just to give you an idea here. And you know what? It's going slow going right now. So I'm going to skip that, but you guys have probably seen it before. My Trade Report has today it was a 17-minute video. It's usually a little longer going in to start the week, but usually it's about a 10-minute video that gets you ready for the next day. You don't have to do any of your own research. I basically lay everything out, have my focus list, the stocks we're watching, the trades we've made, the analysis, and then during the day, you will get trade alerts for any trades I make. Then I send out trade ideas. I've added that because I can't trade everything in my focus list, but if I see something setting up, I'll send that out to you. And then there's usually an intraday report, usually video. Sometimes when I don't have video access, it'll be written just to give my analysis of what's going on during the day. So that's it for this Twitter chart request. A lot of fun here, and I will see you next time.